I had no idea. Like, I didn't know all this stuff went into our day-to-day lives, like from the fire department to peaches to like literally all areas of work.
Right.
Like, it takes so much. And I think Empower's done a great job with that. I'm so thankful to be in Empower.
A production of Flint Energies, your local touch-tone energy cooperative. Front Porch Chats brings you along while we discuss interesting events, people in history, programs, and hidden gems located in Central and Southwest Georgia. Grab a glass of iced tea while we chat for a spell. I'm your host, Natalie Bradley, and today I am here with one of our Empower Youth Leadership graduates from Crawford County, and I'm going to let Laura Kate introduce herself in just a minute and tell you a little bit more about her and what she enjoys. But all month, you have been listening to different students from our various counties that are part of this rural regional youth leadership program, what they've gotten out of the program, how it's helped them, what areas they enjoyed the most, and just a glimpse from their perspective of what they get to enjoy through the program. If you haven't listened to the other interviews, I highly suggest that you go back and listen to some of the other students from Macon County and Sly County, share their experiences, as well as the first episode that we featured this month with Laquita McCrary. And she talks about how our first youth leadership program back in 2013 actually started in Crawford County. So it's kind of neat to see how everything has evolved and shaped into the program that it is today. And we're excited that Crawford County is still a part of it. Yay.
Yes, excited.
So welcome, Laura Kate. So why don't we start out by tell everybody what are some of your extracurriculars? What kind of things do you enjoy doing at school and outside of school maybe?
Yes. So my name is Laura Kate Cody and I'm 17 years old and I'm going to be a rising senior at Crawford County High School this next year. I'm involved with soccer, volleyball. I'm in a lot of clubs and I like doing community-based activities. I serve as an intern for the local Crawford County Roberta Chamber of Commerce, and I was also elected and I served on the Student Advisory Council for the state of Georgia this past school year, which I think really does tie back into youth leadership and a lot of the opportunities I've been given within that, I contribute to youth leadership. So super excited.
Yes, you're very well-rounded, and we're excited to see where you go, Laura Kate. You were already well on your way as a leader when you came into the program. And I haven't really talked about this yet, I don't think, on the podcast, and you may not even realize that we do this, but when we are interviewing the students in each county, we're looking for a good mix of students. So we always look for at least one person that's already a solid leader, but they can grow in different ways still. And then we look for people that they have maybe some experience, but they really need some help growing in that.
Push.
Yes. And then other people that maybe they've even fallen through the cracks and they've got the potential there, but they need some extra encouragement and love. Maybe they're just very introverted, and so people don't assume that they would be a good leader, but that's not true. So you were one of those solid leaders that when we interviewed you, we were like, well, I mean, she would be fine without the program if we're totally being honest. However, we knew that you could really also learn from the program while helping these other kids, get that encouragement and get that confidence that they could really reach for the stars, because you're not scared and we like it. So why don't you share with us, like I said, you're already doing a lot of things, you're already a leader in your own county, but how has Empower helped you in different ways?
So Empower, I first heard about it when my brother was a senior, or a junior, I guess. He went to Crawford County and he was with Empower and he just loved it. He would come home and tell us about all these Empower trips he took. And he was with Miss Patty Temple, which she's a Crawford County queen. If you know her, she's a Crawford County queen. And he was just obsessed with it and loved the program. And I was like, I can't wait to apply for that and see if I get to do it, because it was such a fun experience. So Empower really helped me because I feel like it opened up my eyes to what was really going on around me. All of my life, I was so stuck on 8th grade. I was convinced I want to go live in Boston. I was telling my parents, I made them take me up there to I was obsessed with it. And
that's kind of random.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Boston.
That's okay. I get obsessed with weird things.
I was fixated.
It happens.
Yeah, and I was that was my hyperfixation. And then I was in Empower, and all the stuff was around me and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite trips we took was our Crawford County trip. We got to see like what was actually around us.
Yeah.
And like all of the different areas like for like economic development like in our county.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. And I also like how you said like you don't just take, most people would assume like, oh, we're going to get like the top leaders in our school, like these kids, they're going to go succeed, blah, 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 blah. But like what about the kids that have the potential to get there? They just don't have like, they need help, like just like a push. But they're still great leaders. And like all of them now, like all of the Empower students from Crawford County, I think are just like amazing. And in general, like the difference from the first month to like the last month, because like we walked in there and some of my friends were like, I don't want to go talk to anybody. Like, I just want to like stay with Crawford County. And then at the end, they were sad to leave.
Yes.
So it's like stuff like that shows like why you do it in the first place.
And I think like, so the year before you, and Michaela was y'all's mentor this year for your classes. She was the first mentor that we've had, but for her class, she was like the ringleader that started like the group texts across all the counties, or maybe it was Snapchat. I don't know. She made a group, whatever. And I feel like she was the most vocal about, hey, I want to be friends with all of you. And she's made some really tight bonds.
And she was still close with them this
year.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and even at the honors, I guess it was the honor ceremony last week that Blair Brown from my department went, since I couldn't go. And she said that Michaela, talked about the Empower program was such a big impact for her. And I just got so excited. But like all of you guys at Crawford, I feel like, and she's so different, her personality is so different from you. But then it's a great testament of, same thing. Like she was saying when she came on, at first it was kind of like, and she's not shy, but she was like, okay, wait, who are you?
Yeah. And like, look at her now.
Yeah. And then she became like the ringleader of like, let's become best friends and let's have a good time together.
Yes.
So, all right. So talk about some of these other programs that you've done that are actually really hard to get into. And how do you feel like Empower helped you maybe get into those programs? What does that look like?
So I was back in September, October, I applied for the state of Georgia Superintendent Advisory Council. So basically it was just an opportunity to collaborate hand in hand with our state superintendent and kind of like advocate for certain issues that we think like are prominent in our school systems. So that was a really unique opportunity. And when filling out the application, I listed like Empower because I was so excited about it. And I was like, I'm in this program and it shows that you're like developing your leadership skills.
Right.
And, like you want to take it a step further and you can communicate and you have soft skills, stuff like that. So I really think that when I applied for that aided in my application. And I think that's one of the key reasons that I was chosen because like there was like 1,500 kids that applied.
And how many got in?
75.
Yeah, that's huge.
I was so excited about it, but I really do think that it boiled down to Empower and like showing them that like, hey, she's involved with this and she can communicate with many different types of people, not just like one like box fit.
And you took the initiative to do it. So
that was.
And then most recently.
Yes, so I was selected to attend the Youth Lead Summit in Athens, Georgia this summer, and I'm obsessed with Athens, so I'm so excited. So yeah, that's just like a leadership summit in July of this summer in Athens. So I'll get to meet so many different new people.
That'll be fun.
And yes, I just love to meet new people.
Yeah. So you'll have to tell me if you get time on your own and I can give you some ideas of where you need to go check it out.
Yes, yay. I'm so excited.
It's lots of fun. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And that's awesome. I'm just so excited for you. So, and it's fun. Like, so one of the big bonuses of what I get to do is get to know you guys. And like Laura Kate sent me this text. Was it last week?
I think it was. I was like, I have to tell Miss Natalie.
Yeah, like she sent the screenshot that was like, congratulations, you're in. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it's so much fun to celebrate with you guys. And then it's going to sound like cheesy or whatever, but as an adult that, I'm not your teacher and I'm not related to you and I haven't seen you grow up, but like, it means a lot that you guys even want to share those kind of things, those wins or things that you're proud of, because we're proud of you too. And then, and then I share them with, all leadership at Flint Energies. And then we're all secretly cheering for you guys and you don't even know it. Like our CEO is like keeping up with you guys. Aww. And they just get really excited about what's next for y'all.
And
so
I think that's a huge thing. Like you don't you don't just gain friends, but you gain mentors that you'll have for the rest of your life. And another big thing is like networking. Like we were just talking about this a minute ago. Like you never know where you're going to be. Like it teaches you the ability to like soft skills, like how to communicate with people face to face and look them in the eyes and maintain eye contact and be interested in what they're selling you and carry out a conversation and stuff like that you're going to need in the real world.
Right. And don't look like you're so uncomfortable in your skin you want to crawl under a desk. Yes.
That's key.
That is key.
Yeah.
And I mean, we do talk about, making the connections, building your network. And that's one of the things that, honestly, I learned from my mother when I was growing up, because we left from Macon County when I was only 10 years old, and we moved to Metro Atlanta at Roswell. And it was just us, and we didn't know anybody. And that was very scary. And she was an interior designer and worked on 100% commission. So salary was not promised. And that's
scary.
Very scary. Yeah. Like when I think about that now, I'm like, I don't know if I would do that.
Metro Atlanta.
Yeah. And with a kid in tow. But she needed some more opportunities. This is before the internet. And she couldn't make money to support us as an interior designer in rural Georgia. Thankfully, a lot of those things have changed now. But just watching her and learning the power of building a network just really stuck with me. And that's, I feel like, one of my big gifts, which also emerged in Clifton Strengths for me when I took it. And that's one of those things that, like, we try so hard to make that impression on you guys, because I've never gotten a job like the traditional way of like, there's an advertisement, go for it. And it's so much harder to get jobs that way. And the majority of people out there don't know that. And then they get frustrated and they're like, what's wrong with me? I can't get a job. Well, nothing's wrong with you, but you don't have an in that company. So it makes it a lot harder. And you guys are learning, I feel like, not only those soft skills, but a lot of those things that some of us, like, I took that for granted, that everybody knew how to network and everybody knew how to make those connections, because that was my reality. And then I went to college and I was like, what do you mean you guys don't know anybody? I mean, they only knew like other people their age. And I was like, I'm friends with all these adults. And, so I think that that's so great. And it gives you such a big leg up. And you guys have met not only people in your own backyard, in your own county, but you guys have met regional people, statewide people. At some point, there's probably going to be some national people. Even some of our programs for next year, we've got people from other EMCs that are coming to shadow and see what we're doing with this program, because they want to do it in their own, service area. So they see the impact that it's having on you guys. So that makes me like really excited.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see my friends, because I became close with a lot of girls from Scott County.
Yeah.
And so,
good.
Yeah, just like Gracie is one of them.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. And so I'm so excited to go back
and she's coming back too.
Yes, so I'm so excited. I think really just being able to interact with so many different types of people, and like, not everyone, a harsh reality is not everyone's going to think like you. Not everyone's going to have the same opinion of you. And so just, you can still coexist, and you can still, and that's a problem today, I think.
Even for adults.
Society, and for adults. Like,
mostly for adults, actually.
Like, just because someone doesn't have the same opinion as you does not mean that they're less than or too
or evil.
I don't know why that's very misconstrued. But
it's just all good things that you're saying. I love that. So, okay, so you really enjoyed, your favorite thing was learning about things in your own county that you didn't even know was here. What about one of our trips that we took, like, as an entire group? Did you have a favorite out of any of those?
Oh, wow.
Or top takeaways that you enjoyed from those?
If I had one top takeaway, it would be that there's so much that goes into what we might perceive as like just something like regular. Yeah. Like visiting Lane, like we visited the Lane orchards. And so like, I did not know that much went into like making something run. So like, when we might look in our backyard and say like, oh, there's not enough opportunity there, or that's just like, I can never grow or like further myself in this opportunity, like you so can. I just thought that was so cool to see how much went into like everything. Economic development is such a versatile thing.
Yeah,
like
it's huge.
So diverse.
Yes.
Like there's so many different layers, and like so many people work so hard to provide so many different things around us. Yeah. And just seeing that, even in my own county. Yes. But especially at Lane, I thought that was very cool.
Well, and at Lane, too, what was neat is after we did the tour, just for our listeners to kind of know, we had a conversation during lunch where we had the local economic developer spoke to you guys. Then we also had our region representative. So Department of Community Affairs, Department of Economic Development, and they talked about how they all work together and how it fits together to attract and retain and grow business in Georgia. So I felt like that it's always eye-opening for people, adults included, because they just don't realize how difficult it is and how
much work goes into everything.
Yes.
Like
and it's a balancing act of figuring out, because we are competing against some major states and locations out there, and we keep getting number one, and it's because they figured out this recipe.
How to collaborate,
It was a really good session.
It was really good.
I loved it. I did too. I always enjoy economic development. And this year we're going to go to Columbus. Okay. So it'll be different. So yeah, we just keep moving you guys around the regions.
I love it.
All right. So next year you're going to be a mentor, which means that your peers voted for you to represent them next year. And when we were interviewing for next year's group, we had a lot of the students come in and we said, well, why did you decide to apply? What made you put your name in? And a lot of them said, well, Laura Kate told us.
Yeah, I kind of resisted like doing it, not going to lie.
But that's good. That's what we want you guys to be, like, empower evangelists in your school.
And so many people were like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get selected, or I don't know if I really want to do that. But I was like, you don't know until you try.
Right.
Like, one thing that I've definitely learned over the course of this year, and especially from Empower, like, it's just taught me, like, you're going to get hit in life, like, you're going to get knocked down, but, like, how you, like, respond to that and, like, you keep going, that's what, like, finds your character. It's like, you're not always going to succeed, and my dad's had to tell me this a lot more than he used to have to, I guess, because, like, reality's hitting, like, I'm growing up.
It gets harder as you get older.
Took the SAT, I'm going to have to apply to college, and it's like, you're not always going to win, and that's okay, and that doesn't make you less than somebody else, or, like, not as prepared as somebody else, but like, it's just how you respond to that. So I was like, just apply, and, like, you never know, like, better than you think you are. You're like, you can communicate better than you think you can. You're smarter than you think. You're capable. You just have to take the extra step. And believe it yourself. And then it will hopefully come to fruition. But if it doesn't, that's fine, and you'll grow from it either way. I think you grow more from when you fail than you do when you succeed.
Girl, you're going to make me explode with pride. I'm so proud of you. Like, you learned so much. Like, I mean, we kind of beat that drum to death, I guess, but but it's important. Like, you've got to learn those things. You have to. I'm so proud of you. Yay. We'll just keep you around for a couple extra years, and we'll just get you.
I'm so stay. Don't tell me that. I'll hide out in the corner.
Oh my gosh.
Get her out of here.
So as of now, what do you think that you're going to want to pursue as a major, or do you know?
So I do think I know. I think I want to do political science.
Okay.
And international relations.
Yes.
And I want to go to UGA.
Yes.
Hopefully. But I mean, that could change. Everything is subject to change.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and just to see where the Lord takes me on my next steps. But I think as a whole, another thing, I just keep talking about things that have helped me, but Clifton Strengths.
Yes.
So we did Clifton Strengths with Empower, and it kind of boils down, like, what are your main strengths? Like, what do you succeed well? Like, what are your best areas? And all of my life, I guess I've been focused on, you struggle in these areas. But one thing that I learned from that is, like, take your strengths and harness them.
Yeah.
Like, stop focusing so much on, like, the negative aspects of you, because everyone, like, has weaknesses.
Yeah.
Like, don't fixate on your weaknesses if you want to utilize your strengths to better propel you forward. So I've had to learn that, and that's, like, applies to all areas of life.
Yes.
Like, talking about SAT, I was focusing so much on, like, oh, like, I don't do well in this area, blah, 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 blah. But when I actually focused on what I was good at and then used that to further, I could score one up.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Just like the example she gave us. Yes.
So it's like, if you just use it in the right way,
yes,
and actually apply it to your day-to-day life, it will help you more than you know.
Yeah, 100%. I wish that I had taken that a lot earlier. So again, that's one of those things where I feel like everybody will realize the many, many gifts that they were given in this program as they kind of walk the steps.
Yeah.
Again, like, you don't realize until you get out there and you compare notes with other kids and young adults at that point that, oh, you didn't have the same experience I did, and you didn't have the same opportunities. But it's so exciting that our EMC, our cooperative, does so much to help prepare the workforce for tomorrow. and instead of just reacting to problems. And now what are we going to do? So
like it's finding like people are not educated on what's going on in our rural communities, and then like how do we mitigate this problem? Like what do we do like to go forward? And like this was, I think, a perfect solution. It just really shows like what all it takes to make a community run. And so many kids nowadays have no idea. Like I had no idea. Like I didn't know all this stuff went into our day-to-day lives, like from the fire department to Peaches to like literally all areas of Boyd.
Right.
Like it takes so much. And I think Empower's done a great job with that. I'm so thankful to be in Empower, and I'm glad that we have another great group coming up.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I know they're going to love it. So
yes, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we've got a lot of surprises in store. Yay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experience and all the things that you learned. You're awesome. We're just going to keep cheering for you. And I'm excited to see what this next class does. And I know that they will get a lot also from your help and your mentorship with them. And
just the program in general.
Yeah, we're going to have a great time.
I'm excited. Like I cannot wait for August.
Yay! All right. Well, we'll see you then. If you enjoyed today's podcast, we need your help. Please give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really does help us get this information out to more people about what's going on in Central and Southwest Georgia. Also, share this podcast on social media with your friends and family because it helps get more eyes and ears on what we have going on in our fabulous communities. Thank you.